Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 9:49 a.m. This interview, inshallah, will take us to the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. And we do need to end at 10 because I believe we're going to be having load shedding at that point in time. So let's welcome to the program our guest. And that is the Deputy Principal at Qurtuba Online Academy, Moulana Yusuf Laher. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program and nice to have you on air today.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We appreciate that you have accommodated us, and assalamu alaikum to all the listeners out there.
Okay, I must tell you something. What's jumped out at me is your brand. I just think it is so inspiring. Can you tell us a little bit about your brand, Qurtuba? And I know it ties in with that ancient city of Cordoba. So over to you.
So definitely, and that's generally where we start off from. Alhamdulillah, with Qurtuba, it's a brand, a legacy that we wish to reignite. So going very briefly into history with Tariq bin Ziyad in Cordoba in Spain, what was then established under the Muslim Empire was a fully fledged Muslim city, country, community that was rejuvenated. Unfortunately, many things happened then in history and there was a downfall. So
Mm,
here in South Africa, in Johannesburg, with the Adamji family, they have a very similar vision in enabling or revisiting and recreating that environment of Cordoba. So starting off with Qurtuba, there are many visions, but one of the main vision to duplicate that in history is that of an educational environment, an environment such where people crave knowledge, not a formality of going to formal institutes for the sake of doing it, but rather there's an absolute craving for knowledge in the different fields of mastery, whether it be medicine, accountancy, whatever it may be. So to reignite that, the Qurtuba brand was established. There is a physical school as well as an online school.
So, who are you? Who is Qurtuba Online Academy? What are you all about?
So, Qurtuba Online Academy predated COVID in 2019. There was a vision to provide quality education to people in an online platform. So, this service targets a niche audience for those that perhaps are homeschooling, for those that don't have access to educational institutes within their domicile areas, wherever it may be, and not only nationally but internationally as well. And the intention behind this was young, exuberant, qualified professionals, both on the academic side and Islamia side, to Islamize and provide education in the wholesome and nutritional way that it should be, and move away from the conventional way of doing things in education. So the intention was to sort of disrupt education and become the new architects in education in an online environment. And naturally, with COVID, it was a catalyst. But Alhamdulillah, we have started off with the international curriculum, grade 7 to 9, and that was 2020. And Alhamdulillah, we are now standing at grade R to grade 12, offering both the international curriculum as well as the CAPS curriculum.
So, what happens between grade 9 and grade 12? Has that not yet been introduced?
So we have from grade R right up till grade 12.
Oh, you
This
have grade 12. Okay.
Yes, we have our first matriculants this year also as well. Just under 50 learners we have this year. For matriculants, they are obviously all currently writing their trial examinations.
Are you referring to only online learners or your in class learners as well? Is that system up and running already?
So, Qurtuba Online Academy specializes only in the online. So, our
Mm.
line of structure, if you, our principal, deputy principals, our teachers are all dedicated to the online academy exclusively. The on-site school is a different ballgame. They have a separate structure completely. So, when we're saying our learners, our learners are dedicated to the online platform specifically.
Okay, and I would like to think that you've had a huge uptake not only locally but internationally as far as your online site is concerned.
Yes, one is the expats in the other countries, and
Mm.
naturally they would be inclined towards our South African curriculum. But there are others as well because of offering the international Cambridge curriculum, which is your English, your combined sciences, your mathematics, your IT, your core subjects. That has been an attraction to learners not only internationally but locally also as well.
Okay, so that's the syllabus that you offer. What I understand as well, which I think is truly amazing, is that you offering online madrasa as well. So, could online learners, wherever in the world they may be, combine the two, their secular syllabus, and then, right after that or in between that, have their madrasa classes built in as well, in terms of maximizing on time?
Yes, so if I might just elaborate on that and give you some context behind that, is that in an online environment, because we are not limited to brick and mortar, or we're not limited to any other physical buildings per se, there's quite a bit of flexibility, and that is something that we actually strive on. And that is why we also have enabled our methodology, or rather our pedagogy that we've enabled within our institute, is the flipped learning. So flipped learning basically is content that's available to learners at all times, actual teaching in the forms of videos, in the forms of notes, in the forms of audio also as well. They have access to this type of content all the time. And then they have sessions with teachers, live support, interactive sessions with the teachers. That's besides the interaction that they do have with the teacher in the portal. So the flip learning is the mainstream of how we operate at Qurtuba Online Academy, where students have access to all content. So, for example, if a student had to join in term three right now, they have access to term one, term two, term three, term four content. So, if they need to revise, even as parents, if they need to revise a concept that was taught in term one, the video and the notes and the resources are available at all times. They can play and pause and rewind and go back through concepts. So, in an online madrasa, and that was a question that you asked, parents would ask, how would flip learning then work? So, the theory subjects, perhaps, yes, it does work where there is content available. But in certain grades, like the foundation phase, your grade R to grade 3, or the schooling and the madrasa, and also the oral subjects like your Quran, your surahs, and duas, does require live interaction in an online platform. There is content available for the learners, but um, in the lesson, you will find that the teacher would be teaching the actual sabak or the actual lesson to the learners, testing them also as well. We're having limited spaces within the class to maintain the quality of the classroom in an online environment.
So, Moulana, I'm just thinking as you speak, you guys must have really worked hard in sorting out your logistics to circumvent time zone issues. I mean, it's 10 o'clock here in South Africa. It could be 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. In Australia, for example, very especially when you have, interaction with live teachers. So lots of thought and logistics must have gone into making this almost, available to learners all around the world.
Oh yes, I must tell you, it's a very interesting journey and very much stimulating in an online environment. Is that there's so much research, deliberation, surveys that has to go into every single action that we do take out. There's so much behind it. The flip learning itself, the lessons itself, the software that you use, everything is to be the best for the end user. So even time zones as well, and we haven't yet aggressively marketed there, and we're looking forward to that in the next year in accommodating for the northern hemisphere. They work with a separate calendar where their year starts in September.
Mm.
So, and like I said, we strive on flexibility. So currently we have different offerings. So even if you had to take the South African curriculum, the CAPS curriculum, you could have a choice of doing it in the morning or the afternoon. If
Wow.
you had to look at the international curriculum, you can choose to do it in the morning and afternoon. There's different slots that you could choose. Even the madrasa, if you'd like to do madrasa in the morning or madrasa in the afternoon. So you could choose your combination. And the reason for that is that I think parents are realizing that placing your child into a formal setting for about 8 to 9 hours and not giving that extra murals or their hobbies, very limited time to that, whether it be swimming, archery, horse riding, or doing or becoming a full-time hafiz. Or we have many learners that are also becoming ulama, and they doing instead of not doing schooling at all, the schooling option is available to them. So they would do their HIF or their alim course in the morning and then do their schooling in the afternoon. We have a dedicated HIFs program for learners like that. So, alhamdulillah, our learners that have joined us choosing their slots in the free time that they do have compared to an on-site school, they are now occupied with their hobbies, and that's a great thing for kids.
Okay, Moulana Yusuf Lahir, I think we need to wrap up because it is 10 o'clock. I'm afraid the lights are going to go out very quickly. For people wanting more information, how do they get in touch with you?
So with our online environment, everything is online. So you can visit the website kurtubaonline.co.za, or you can email them at support@kurtubaonline.co.za. Our office lines are open from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 010-109-1784, or you can WhatsApp message us on 082-535-4271.
Undoubtedly, this is the future of learning. You guys have started it at Qurtuba Online Academy. I think that this is going to be absolutely the future of learning, not only in South Africa, but globally. Thank you indeed for talking to us. Keep us in your doors. All well to you and Qurtuba Online Academy. It is Assalamu alaikum from all of us here at Salam Media. The production team, that's you, Nasreen and Kolani. And from me, Julie Ali, it is Khuda Hafiz.